Alright, let's cut the shit, drop the pretense, and move straight into the furnace where the old belief systems burn and the new architecture of thoughts get forged. This isn't a lullaby. It's a metaphysical sledgehammer, swung in rhythm to a deeper pulse beneath your skin. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to remind your bones who the fuck you are, and why abductive thinking, lateral chunking, and seeing metaphor in everything will alter the very trajectory of your perception, and therefore your life. You already do this, you just forgot. You ever guess what someone's feeling just from a twitch in their eye? That's abductive thinking. You're doing it when you read between the lines, when your gut screams what your logic hasn't caught up to yet. You ever look at how your phone unlocks with your face and suddenly realise how that's just a metaphor for human connection? Pattern recognition unlocking access. You're already thinking abductively, laterally, metaphorically. The problem? You've been punished for it. Told to get serious, be logical, stick to the facts. Fuck that noise. It's time to remember your true operating system. Everything is everything else wearing a different costume. Look at a leaf. It branches like your lungs. Your lungs mirror the roots of a tree. Trees are the lungs for the planet. Everything is a metaphor for everything else. This isn't poetic fluff. It's neural pattern resonance. The brain wires similarity like a motherfucker. The limbic system doesn't know the difference between an angry boss and an angry bear. It reacts the same way. Why? Because to your unconscious, form is fluid and metaphor is survival. You see a wave, you think emotion. You see a spiral, you think growth. Why? Because pattern is language and energy is pattern meaning. When you get this, really get it, you'll never look at reality the same way again. Lateral chunking is how the genius thinks. When you zoom the fuck out and see the galaxy spirals like your fingertips, you've just chunked laterally. You've lifted yourself out of category-based thought and entered fractal cognition, seeing how a pattern at one level of reality rhymes with another. Example, you're stuck in a fight with your partner. You zoom out and realise it's not about this fight. It's a pattern from your childhood looping back in. You zoom even further and realise every social structure you inhabit is running that same loop. That is lateral chunking. That's metaphor as insight. That's the sacred skill of the magician, the polymath, the architect of thought. Why does this change everything? Neurologically, when you introduce confusion, metaphor and reframing, you knock the prefrontal cortex off balance just enough to make it pliable. Like heating steel before bending it. You destabilize the old pattern, not to destroy it, but to recognize it around higher order insight. That's how Milton Erickson bypassed the critical faculty. It's how master communicators install belief shifts without resistance. And it's how you become unfuckwithable. Because you're no longer stuck in the map of reality. You're rewriting the key. Let's go even deeper. Listen, you've been afraid to chunk up, because you thought you'd lose control. You've been afraid to chunk down, because you thought you'd drown in the details. You've been afraid to use metaphor, because someone once mocked you for daydreaming. What if the fear was the guardian at the gate of your genius? What if your very confusion was the portal? What if the parts of you that hesitate are actually the keys? Here's the deal. If you don't do this, your thinking stays flat. Your beliefs remain hand-me-downs. And your relationships, they're just scripts in drag. So how do you use this? First, see everything as something else. Your anger is a dragon. Your sadness is a river. Your mind is a prism. When you shift the metaphor, you shift the meaning. When you shift the meaning, you shift the behaviour fast. 2. Chunk up to get power. Feel stuck in an argument? Chunk up. What's the higher level intention? Safety, belonging, recognition. When you meet someone at that level, shit melts. 3. Chunk down to gain precision. Feel overwhelmed? Chunk down. What's the exact behaviour? What's the actual feeling? Specificity is sovereignty. 4. Abduce like a beast. Take the leap. Guess what's probably true, based on incomplete data. Use patterns, emotional gut. You already do it, now do it consciously. 5. Lead through metaphor. Tell the story that shifts their state. Imagine if this fear was a doorway. What if this pattern was a cocoon? People live in stories. Don't argue with beliefs. Reframe the damn myth. The truth smack. You've got to start seeing your mind as recursive code, not static structure. You've got to chunk up to insight, chunk down to action, lateralize to innovate, and metaphorize to transform. This isn't self-help. This is self-surgery. And if you're not willing to practice it, then don't bitch about being stuck. Life rewards the bold. Karma rewards the clear. Thought rewards the abductive. So what if this was already you? What if this whole thing wasn't about installing something new, but remembering what you already fucking are? What if every time you laughed, loved, panicked, pondered, you're already chunking, laterally, abducting, metaphorizing? You are the architecture. You're the operator. So now chunk up, chunk down. See the damn metaphor and run the new code now again and again until it's effortless, until it's embodied. You don't need to believe all of this right now. You just need to feel the resonance in your body, because you're unconscious. It's already heard every word. And the new system is installing, not because you asked, but because you're ready. If something's stirred, let it. If you feel lost, breathe. What you're feeling is the system resetting.